Welcome, everyone, to Millennials and Money Cafe, where we create events to empower, inspire, and motivate millennials to love, live, and matter. I'm your host, Marilyn O'Malley, whose mission it is to help millennials stop their needless struggle and suffering by revealing to them who they really are and showing them how they can stop living from their past and create from the present their wealthy, healthy, meaningful, loving, and passionate lives. So you can find more about me and listen to the Millennial and Money Cafe podcasts on my blog at marilyno'malley.com, or you can find us on iTunes under Millennials and Money Cafe or Marilyn O'Malley. And so before I get started with our guest today, who is Sam Forline, I just wanted to say that the reason I'm doing these interviews is so that all of you millennials can see, all of those of you who are struggling in some way or form can see that all of these millennials that I'm interviewing that are thriving on life, that are living their lives, are going for it, come from all different walks of life, have had all different circumstances and challenges that have either woken them up or helped redirect their life. They've paid attention, they've taken action, they've done work looking inward to see what it is that they really want and what inspires them and what they're passionate about, and they've believed in that more than what their reality outside of them. And so just for you to see as many things as you can think about in life that can take you down, that seeing there's as many people that have had those circumstances and it has lifted them up. And so that's why I'm interviewing all of these millennials. I'm interviewing these people so you can see and maybe find some aspect of yourself in these people and their circumstances and how they've risen and how they're developing and creating their lives. And I also want you to notice that it's a journey. Like nobody's landed where they want to be. They're still passionate about creating more in their lives and going, and they're still learning and growing. It isn't like you get to some place and then that's it. And they're still not, I would say most of them are not even near creating what they're really here to create. And so just listening to these different programs that I'm having, just listen to how they're doing it, where they've come from. Listen to their courage and their persistence and their following their passion. You know, how they're driving their life from the inside out versus the outside in. And so with that, I've got a great guest today who is Sam Forline. And Sam, am I saying your last name correctly?
Yes, you are, Marilyn.
Oh, good. And so welcome. And so I'm going to share a little bit about Sam with you. Sam is a former NCAA soccer player and straight A chemistry student turned successful college dropout following his dreams as an entrepreneur. His work developing mobile apps and connecting millennials with jobs has garnered a wealth of attention from media and investors coast to coast. So that's just a little. I'm sure you're going to, you've got a lot going on.
Yeah,
for
the
me,
way I like it.
Doing my research, right, I get that. So to start out, let's help fill those millennials in that I just shared, that, you know, your story, everybody's got a story, and what woke you up to, like, I don't want to go the college route. I want to be an entrepreneur. I'm more excited in something else than sitting in a classroom.
Yeah, yeah. First of all, what you just described to your show. I love what you're doing. It's completely great. It's the same message I try to carry out when I go speak at high schools and colleges. That there are so many ways to be a part of this world, to make a mark, and motivate yourself to be part of something big. Not just go to school and read a textbook, but be able to do other things. So yeah, I went to school for a while, and I did well, and sometimes I didn't do well. I got straight A's for a while, and then sometimes I failed out of semesters. But nonetheless, I've always thought that there was something different out there, that you did not have to follow the rules that your parents gave you, that you didn't have to listen to your professors to do well in life. And that's always been the message growing up. You go to school, you do well in school, and then you go out, you graduate from college, and then you get a job. It just seemed like that's what everyone was pushing to do. And I've always been a rebel. I've always broken the rules. I've always gotten in trouble some way or another. I've always tried to figure out how to do something different when someone's telling me what to do. I've always, I don't like listening to people. So
you're a pioneer.
And so, some people call it something different, but entrepreneur, rule breaker, pioneer. It's all the same thing.
Yeah.
But what I've come to realize more and more, I am knee deep in the entrepreneurship life and the startup life, is that today we have all this new information. We have the internet, we have YouTube, we have Facebook, where people are sharing things left and right, where we can learn more than any other generation. As millennials, we can learn more now than anyone could in the last 200,000 years of human life. We have all the information at our fingertips. And yes, when our parents were growing up, who are now in their 50s and 60s, they had books. They had books to live by and books to read, and that's how you learned. Now you can research how to make money online. You can YouTube it, you can Google it, and you can go ahead and start doing advertisements on social media. There are now school is not books and sitting behind a desk taking notes from a professor who is stuck in the 80s, stuck in the 90s. That's not the only option. Now I personally go out to colleges and high schools and try to teach millennials that they have the greatest tool in the world, the internet, and it's open source tools that you can use to learn how to do X, Y, or Z, how to start your own business, how to make money, and how to grow by yourself without a formal degree.
Mm-hmm. I bet the schools love you doing that.
They actually do, because I give a pretty darn good speech.
Yeah.
I dropped out of school not really knowing what I was doing. I was coaching soccer. I played soccer all my life. Mm-hmm. So I was able to coach soccer for $50 an hour because I was good at it and I loved it. I loved what I did, and I was able to be good at it. But then I took a different approach, and I realized in my neighborhood in Bethesda, Maryland, that everyone has a lawn, everyone has gutters, everyone has a house, everyone has junk that needs to be removed. Decided to make a business out of it. Yeah. Because there's a need there, and I had a good message. I named the company Blue Collar Scholars, meaning that we're scholars, we're college students or college grads doing blue collar work. And people loved that. Our neighbors loved it. The people we advertised to loved it. Everyone called me and said, I love this idea. I'd love to hire you. And I started making really good money doing that business alone. We actually this year we started a revenue over $1,000 a day just from landscaping, painting, junk removal, simple stuff. So it was just proof right there that you can follow your dream and start making money right away.
Okay, so I want to look at follow up on a couple things. Number one, you are very self-motivated. Not everybody's self-motivated, and you're innovative. So you have a good sense of, like I said, pioneer. You're looking out there to see what's needed, and how can I fulfill that need. So. And I love also the message that you're giving. There is nothing to keep you from living your dreams. There's nothing to keep you from doing what you want to do.
Nothing. Yeah. I was actually just looking at an infograph. It was saying, it was like talking about all the hours in the week, and there's like, you have 40 hours for for work, like 38 hours for sleep. And then 30 hours for eating and transportation, and there's a whole 26 hours of free time there. Yeah. And then it says this is where you can start following your dream. And I think Warren Buffett also said that you have expenses, you have bills, and you have food to eat and all that stuff. But every other dollar should be going towards your dream. As millennials, we have the rest of our life ahead of us. And in the way science and technology is advancing, we're going to be living into our 80s, 90s, and even hundreds. So we have 70 years to live. If you start doing what you love now, if you start working towards your dream goal, if you start starting a business right now, even if you fail, which I did plenty of times when I first started up, when I was 16, 18, 19, 20, when I tried to start businesses that failed, you learn from each time. So now is a perfect time for everyone to get out there and at least try. Because every time you try, you learn something. Even if you fail miserably, even if you get, lose money, you learn a lesson and you can shake it off because you have 70 years of life ahead of you. And you can try better next time. Oh,
God, I love this. Okay, so you've got a millennial who's listening, right? And so they have an idea. So there's something they're seeing, like, okay, I'm itching. I want to do something. I want to work. So how would you tell them to get started?
Okay, great. Create a website first. You always need a point of reference. And I know a lot of .coms are taken, but there are still some .cos. BlueCollarScholars.co is my website for Blue Collar Scholars. And I highly recommend you start taking on jobs. Let's say you like web development, or let's say you like tutoring, right? You can make good money tutoring. Some tutors make $80 an hour. You can just start advertising and start doing it for less. Say you'll do it for $25 an hour. People would sure to take it off. Let's say you can teach Spanish. Let's say you can teach math. Start advertising for $25 an hour. The way I started is I lowballed the price to get as many customers as I could. And from each customer I learned, they gave me fantastic reviews. They told their neighbors. They told their friends. I got jobs out of them. And I've built a really good foundation, a network of people liking my service. So the first thing you should do is get that credibility, create a website. WordPress is very easy. If you don't know how to do it, call me. I have a web development and app development company too. And I can put it up within a day, make it look really nice. And then just start advertising. Get as many jobs as you can, even if you're not making that much money, to build credibility, to build references, to build people talking about your business, create a Facebook page, a Twitter page, and with that, it just starts taking a life on its own. People start calling you, and you're able to charge more because you have happy customers, you have reviews. It's all simple stuff.
Mm-hmm. And so, but there's one thing, and I listened to another interview that you did, and that I really liked hearing, is you also hold a high standard for what you do, and I think this is important for millennials listening to hear.
It is so important. This is probably the biggest value I have. I have never, to this date, I'm 25 years old, I've been in business for about 3 years, I have never had an unsatisfied customer. I do whatever it takes, even if I'm losing money, even if the job drags out, even if we're all tired, even if I have a bad customer who's complaining about X, Y, and Z, I make sure they're happy. Because if you have an unsatisfied customer, if you do a bad service, they're gonna tell people. They're gonna because you think about it, people only go online and write reviews when they're unhappy, or if they're really, really happy, which I do also. If you never have an unsatisfied customer, you cannot go wrong. If you're doing the right thing, you cannot go wrong. So I ensure before I sell a $1,000 job, I tell my customer, listen, I guarantee my service. Do not pay me a penny until you're happy at the end. And what that does is it gets people to trust you. I have lists and lists of people who recommend my service. So when people come and say, I don't know, they don't. As soon as I show them who's used my services, how many reviews I have, I show them everyone what they're talking about. It's easy. It's an easy sell for people to use my service. And plus, you need to have good values going into business. You can there are so many scams out here. There are so many pyramid schemes, and all that does is you're going to get found out eventually if you're doing a bad business, and it's just going to kill your credibility and reputation is everything. Once people start talking poorly about you, who's going to use your business? Even if you hear one thing wrong with that person, why would they use your business when there's 100 other companies doing the same thing? So thank you so much for pointing that out. You need to do a good job. It's with everything in life. If you're going to do something, why do it half-ass? You have to do it right. And when you're doing it right, people see you. Whether or not you're in school days, your professor, whether or not you're working hard in an internship, your boss is going to see it. You might get that job next year. You should always work hard. In today's world, us millennials, we have Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. We see so many people partying, drinking, doing drugs, and it's so easy to have that mindset of, oh man, whatever, it's just party and all that stuff. But there's also that whole other life, the people I hang out with, the people I associate with, who really care about what they do, who are setting themselves up for success in future. And you have a choice. You can either hang out with the people who've had everything handed to them. They don't really need to work hard to be successful because their parents are helping them, and they can go out and drink during the weekends all the time, every weekend. Or you can hang out with people who really care what they do, who take everything the way I do and work hard to get to where they are. And you have a choice. You can be the best you can be, and there's always that option.
Mm-hmm. And I want to reiterate here because I know, because we have a lot of perfectionists. We've grown up in a perfectionist, we're cultivating perfectionists here. So I'm just gonna, and I help a lot of perfectionists. So I just want to reiterate that Sam is saying doing it right doesn't mean you can't fail. Sam is saying
yes.
be in integrity, have standards, because number one, when you value yourself and you value the work that you do, then you are also going to feel good about who you are, and you're going to, and other people are going to value what it is that you do in the world, and that's like the flow of money. If you,
yes.
There's a current here. And so the current is you're creating a service to meet somebody, to solve somebody's problem. And the current then flows back to you with payment and money and perks or whatever that is for the value that you brought to them.
Yes. Yes, yeah. And I'm so glad you pointed that out because I failed 1,000 times before. The reason why I'm successful is because I failed. And that doesn't mean that, my customers weren't happy. I've messed up jobs before, but I always kept working to make them, I either gave them back their money or I worked extra, more than the contracted hours, more than the whatever, to make them happy. You're going to fail. Yes, you're going to fail. You're going to fail 1,000 times. I I've been laughed at. I tried to start the same company that's making over $1,000 a day when I was 18, 19. I told everyone in the world what I was going to do, and I never did it. And people laughed at me. People, were talking about me. So, oh, Sam's this and that. Oh, man, this and that. But in order to succeed, you're going to have to fail. You're going to have to build that tough skin. You cannot be afraid to fail. Mm-hmm. I took on as many jobs. When I started to become successful, I took on jobs that I knew were a little too big to test myself, to see if I could do it. Eventually, you can. You're never going to move forward in life. You're never going to become a better person, a better student, a better worker, a better entrepreneur if you're in your comfort zone all the time. Mm-hmm. You have to take risks. You have to really try yourself. You will never know how good you can get unless you try yourself, unless you do something bigger than you've done before and better. So thank you so much for pointing that out.
Yeah. And so you're such an inspiration. I'm so excited. Yay! Yeah, because that is, just think, to go back to the basics, if we were not to fail, none of us would be walking.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yes. Think about a baby. They fall down thousands of times. Yeah. Guess what? Those babies sometimes become a $75 million NFL athletes. Right. You have to put it in that perspective. Yeah. Michael Jordan used to fall down when he walked. Yes. Tiger Woods.
He didn't make every basket. He had to practice a lot.
Actually, his quote. If you look at my Instagram at Sam Forline, I put a bunch of Michael Jordan quotes. Mm-hmm. A lot of him is saying, I am successful because I failed so many times. Mm-hmm. I am successful because I missed this many shots. Because I failed over and over and over again. You learn from your mistakes and you keep going. Right. That's what a true athlete is, and that's what a truly successful person is.
Right. And I love one of the things that you said in one of your other interviews that I really like too, is that you're not afraid to get your hands dirty. You dive in and you'll do it all.
I literally get my hands dirty. Yeah. I literally go out there and work with my guys sometimes. Yeah. I literally have to show them how it's done. I have to set the pace. I grew up with my dad's always had a garden in Bethesda, and I grew up with him, and I've always helped him out there. I've always done work like that, and you can't be afraid to get your hands dirty. You can't have this pride. I found myself sometimes like saying, "Oh, I'm too good to do this." As soon as I start thinking that way, I start to slip. Mm-hmm. You need to be humble. You need to say, I can do the work too. If you're not going to do the work that you're paying someone else to do, it's going to show, and your workers are going to see that, and your workers are going to start getting jealous and all that stuff. You need to be able to show that you're willing to do the same work, that you're willing to put in the extra effort, because life isn't all candy and games. You gotta work hard for what you get, and getting your hands dirty is definitely part of the process.
Right. Well, and that you care about the end result. You're not just caring to make money.
No, exactly. All right, listen. Do not focus. No one should be focusing on money. If you focus on creating a good value system in your business, a business that serves the customer, that makes everyone happy, that makes sure your employees are. I make sure my employees are happy. What I do is I pay my employees more than what I originally say I'm going to pay them. In return, I can trust them. I can leave them at jobs. Like right now, they're working for me. I'm on this interview. I don't have to check up on them because I know they're going to do a good job. Mm-hmm. Because I instill good values. We trust each other. I treat them with respect. I pay them more. I make sure they're happy. I ask them, what can I do for them? And the same thing with the customers. I reach out to them. I provide great customer service. If you build your company on good values, you're going to make lots of money. Because people, in today's world, when we're inflated with so much social media, so much fakeness, so much gossip, whenever someone comes up with absolute honesty, absolute truth, not afraid to back down from their own opinion, it stands out in today's world. And that's exactly what I practice my businesses on, and that's why I'm successful today.
Great. So I have one other question, kind of sticking on the same subject, and then we're going to go to the other things, other businesses that you have.
Yes.
So one is, what would you say to those millennials who don't think they're worthy or good enough?
Listen, I failed out of college, right? My parents were very disappointed in me. Every time I went to a family party, people asked me, what are you doing? Oh, I'm not going to school anymore. I had no idea what I was doing. I messed up so much in my life. Listen, a lot of people, multimillionaires I'm working with right now, a lot of them have stories where they're either poor growing up, they've had a lot of, like, their parents died early, a lot of things happen.
Abuse.
Listen, yes, if you think you're unworthy, if you don't think you deserve it, man, that is the fire you should build off of. Because then if you actually do anything, even if you start to make $100 a day off one business, that's proving everyone wrong. Oh, you're not good enough. You were never cool in high school. No one knew who you were. That's the exact motivation I seek out. People used to laugh at me with my business ideas. People used to talk behind my back saying I was doing, bad, this or that. I use that as motivation because now everyone, people message me every day on Facebook congratulating me about my success.
Mm-hmm.
Use your underdog features as motivation because because no one's going to root for someone who is born into $1 billion family and has money to start their own business. No, it's the underdogs. It's the people who aren't expected to make it and make it. Those are the people that people write stories on. Those are the people that people talk about. Mm-hmm. So if you feel unworthy, if you feel like you can't do it, then that is a perfect motivation to do it and prove everyone wrong.
Mm-hmm. And Sam, there's somewhere in you that you knew that you were worthy and that you were enough. That you had, so even though you might not feel like that because things were going on, but there was something in you that life force energy, that fire in you said, well, we are going to prove them wrong.
Okay, yes, you got me. I'm a very competitive person. I played soccer all my life. Mm-hmm. And I remember when I was like 6 years old, I used to draw on my doors and stuff. I used to put my signature there and say, oh, this someone who buys this house in the future is going to be lucky because they're going to have my signature there. I am very competitive. I will not lose. I hate. Actually, I played a soccer game last night. We had 2 men down at some point. Very competitive. Washington Premier League, one of the top 10 amateur leagues in the nation. And we lost yesterday. I hated it. Yes, I have a very competitive nature about myself. Uh-huh. I refuse to quit. If I can win, I will win. I suggest everyone look for that determination because there's going to be people rooting against you. And you have to have that strength. If you don't have it, pair up with someone who does. Form a team. There's always people around you who are interested in joining a startup, who are interested in being part of something bigger than themselves. So just go for it.
Yeah. And I'm just going to add the coaching unconditional mother in me also wants to just tell everybody you were born worthy. And you are enough. And so whatever you're feeling counter to that is not the truth, and go out and discover that. Okay.
Yes.
So now let's move on. So now you've got and I'm sorry, we're going a little bit over. Is that okay? Do you have a little bit more time?
No, it's fine.
Okay, good.
I love this.
Okay, good. So now I think you went next to developing apps, and then we'll move into talking about your 3D printer thing. So
yes, sure.
What else are you up to?
Okay, yes. So I own Blue Collar Scholars, which is going strong. I also own Scholar Studios. We're an app development, web development company. I also own Scholar Era. Anyone listening who's looking to be part of something international, looking to be part of really cool startups, hit me up. Scholar Era, we're a viral marketing company. We were in touch with large influencers on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram who help us promote products. I will teach you how to market something. I'll teach you how to start your own business. Just because it's a scholar era, man. It's a millennial era. This is a time where we have the internet. We have the most power in the world. And then
so
Readybox.
is it Arrow or
Era? Era. It's a new era.
ERA.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
So, and yes, I'm part of Readybox also. I own, around 5 to 10% of different companies I help start up. So Readybox, Brett Potter, an engineering genius at 21 years old, has had a chance to work with almost every consumer 3D printer out there at the University of Maryland 3D printing lab. And he made the fastest consumer 3D printer there is. Wow. Speeds that top the other fast consumer 3D printers sixfold. So I'm helping him launch his Kickstarter. We've already raised $18,000 in about 10 days. We're looking to raise more. If you want to be part of that, you can go ahead and look up Readybox at Kickstarter. If you want to contribute, if you want to help, if you want to be part of a team that's making history, contact me. Always looking for dedicated, motivated individuals who want to help out. Yeah, man, it's a lot of fun being part, because of my success, because of my determination, and because I've been working very hard on these startups. I figured out, I have experience in starting things up, so I get requests every day. So I've been blessed to be able to choose the companies I help start up.
That's so exciting, and gosh, I tell you, I just talking to you and listening to you talk about these other millennials who are creating and innovative and doing these things. I just have such a positive image of the future and all that's possible in our world. I just see our world is just going to be changing so much, and just inspired by everything that you're doing. So you said, so if anybody wants to be part of your team, what are you looking for? So we can get specific, so you're not going to get thousands of calls from just people that just want to hang out with you.
No, that's fine. No, 1,000 calls is good.
Okay.
I'm looking for people who want to learn. I'm looking for people who are hungry, who like to be part of something challenging, who like to have fun. Because that's what we do. We have fun doing these things. Mm-hmm. Why work on something if you're not having fun, if you don't love what you're doing? Mm-hmm. So I'm looking for someone who loves what they do, who's looking to be something really cool, who cares about what they're doing. You just have to be excited to learn, and I can help coach you be the best you can be. I can help teach you how to market. I can teach you how to start a business. I can teach you how to sell. We can do a lot of things, and we just have a lot of fun. Yay.
Well, you are such an inspiration, and so people can find you on Facebook under Sam Forline,
yes,
Forline, and then also you can on Facebook you can find the Readybox, so you can do that. And you're on Twitter underneath your same name?
Yep, Sam Forline, and Instagram especially. I love Instagram.
Okay, and Instagram. And Sam, yeah, God, it's been wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing your enthusiasm and your wisdom at such a young age. You're such a wise man already. And I can't wait to see what you're going to do in the future. You're really, really... quite the leader already, that you are. So I'm very excited. I'm already following you on Facebook, and
awesome.
Looking forward to watching you what you come up with, and thank you for sharing your story, and I'm sure you motivated a lot of the millennials today. Oh, I know. Can I ask one more question? Because
yes, of course, always.
It is millennials and money. So what's it like making good money?
Oh man, it's a lot of people say that money isn't everything. Listen, money, when people say that, I say, okay, if you had $10 million, you could raise families, you can feed people in starving countries. So money is very important. Money allows you to create jobs. It allows you to buy food for you and your family. It allows you to create more opportunities. I give back to the community. I donate. It's money. Money gives you so much power. It gives you so much opportunity to do good. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
people, listen. Money is great. Whenever someone says money isn't everything, it's true. You have your family, you have love, and all that. But money allows you to do so many great things in this world that it should inspire you. It should.
Yeah, yeah, and it allows one of the things that I say for money is that money is number one. It's not a personality. So if you're having money trouble, it's not something that is to take you down.
No,
Let
no. I've
eh,
been I've been poor many times in my life.
yeah. Yeah, it has nothing to do with your personality. If you have money, it has nothing to do with who you are. It just you have not been creating.
Yes.
It's just, and so money is there to help you express who you
Uh
are
huh.
in the world. So money is,
Nah, I like that.
yeah, don't you think? So it's like it is there to
Yeah.
support you and to keep expressing yourself out into the world. And whether that's through
Yes.
service or whether that's in giving and, changing and solving the world's problems, or humanity's problems, or whether it's supporting your family, or whether it's a vacation, so a celebration. So just think of money as really supportive. It's not something that's taking you down when you don't have
No.
it.
No. Yes. I love your perspective on money.
Oh,
Great point.
good. Thanks. All right. So again, thank you everybody for being here with us, and thank you so much, Sam, for being who you are and sharing with us today. And thank you, millennials. And this is. Look forward to on our next show, and you can listen to this on MarilynO'Malley.com on my blog, or we are on iTunes. So take care, everybody. Bye. Live, love, and matter.